Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to the Pandora Directive, where last time we were on the trail for our Thomas Malloy. We found a scarf inside his room in the Ritz. The scarf led us to the Fuchsia Flamingo, where Gus Leach was waiting inside playing the piano. He smelled the scarf on Tex and thought that it was Emily, who was asleep in the Flamingo. That led us to learn that one, Emily is in the Flamingo, and two, she's not the most accessible woman. That said, Chelsea
My new vid phone is essential to my business.
has a membership for the Fuchsia Flamingo. We can call her I thought it would be a lot easier to call her. That I would just use the vid phone. But let's go. Maybe we have to examine the maybe we have to examine her newsstand first. Realize that she's not there.
Oh, Chelsea's not at the newsstand. That's strange. I wonder if she's at her apartment.
Okay, now that we've looked at the newsstand and confirmed that Chelsea is not there, let's go back. But also, let's call Gordon Fitzpatrick. I don't think there's anything for us to really learn that we haven't before, but
Hello, Mr. Murphy. How are your efforts progressing?
I have a few leads. Called to see if you could give me some additional information.
I'll be happy to tell you anything I know.
all right, let's ask him about Thomas
As I've
Malloy.
said, I haven't seen my friend for years, and I don't believe I have any additional information that would help you locate him.
That's very comprehensive, I've got to admit. At the very least, it seems that I don't have to worry about doubting this guy's conversation.
The name is new to me. I can't place the name.
I don't think he actually knows.
I've passed by the club, but it didn't seem to be my style, as they say.
Is that something they say?
The name is... That may have been the girl that I spoke to at the university.
That is.
As I've said, I haven't seen my friend for... It's my idea that that was the pseudonym that Thomas used when he worked at the university. That's the landlord at the Ritz, if I'm not mistaken. Extremely unpleasant and uncooperative.
Oh, so he happened to run into Nilo. I don't think I actually knew
My part
that.
in all this is relatively unimportant.
I don't trust that chuckle there.
I don't... The man who runs the diner, I found him a very pleasant man. The name is... If I'm any judge of character, I think our arrangement will be extremely beneficial.
All right, I'm gonna have to figure out how to. Maybe I just actually have to go to her apartment. Yes, I do. I just have to go to her apartment, which is kind of interesting because it's like, does Tex not have her number?
When I get to Chelsea's apartment at the Four Gables, there's a knot in my stomach as big as a cantaloupe. She's probably convinced I stood her up. I'll be lucky if she even talks to me.
Though I suppose talking to her in person is more meaningful than calling her on the vid phone to apologize.
Hi.
Just a little late, aren't you?
And of course, she has the Haagen-Dazs out. Cut her off at the pass. Or go for the ice cream. It's either B or C. Fake a misunderstanding does not necessarily sound as interesting. Let's head her off at the pass.
Okay. I know this looks really bad, and you're probably really upset with me.
You're damn right I'm upset. I didn't deserve to be stood up.
Definitely not that one. Don't mince words.
It's not what you think, Chelsea. I was working on this case and I got jumped by someone. I was out cold the whole time I was supposed to be here.
Oh, I have heard a lot of lame excuses, but this has got to be the worst one ever.
Has nobody tried to go out on a date with you and get knocked out by a mugger?
I'd never stand you up on purpose. Not after all the groveling I've done to get you to go out with me.
And why should I believe you?
Resort to physical evidence or integrity through scouting?
Because I was a Boy Scout, darn it. And maybe it's unfashionable to believe in being honest, cheerful, and thrifty, but those are the principles that I stand for.
Gosh, Tex, you are such a dope sometimes. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah. Oof. I'm manly and thirsty.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's not like I've never taken a shot to the head before. It's hard to believe my brain still works.
It doesn't. It's just kind of running on
really
auto.
Shouldn't set yourself up like that.
Yeah, I know. But hey, speaking of setups, I think we both need a drink. What do you think about tying one on down at the Fuchsia Flamingo?
Funny you should mention that place. I just got a membership there last week, and I've been wanting to try it out.
I wait for Chelsea to get gussied up, and then we fly down to the Flamingo. Chelsea's in a sunny mood, and I'm relieved that she's forgiven me for standing her up. Gus Leach meets us at the door.
And then
He
absolutely
greets Chelsea
nothing
warmly
goes
and then
wrong.
gives me a less than neighborly look. Maybe he'd be friendlier if I were wearing a sexy black dress like Chelsea has on, but probably not.
And now it's the Fuchsia Flamingo, but with customers.
So what do you think?
Be diplomatic. Thumbs down, thumbs up.
Well, it's quite a place. Interesting decor.
A lot of pink, a lot of
I think it's
flamingos.
great. But then, of course, I've always been attracted to blatant tackiness.
Is that a shot at
Should
me?
I take that personally?
Take it any way you like. Do you remember yesterday I told you I had something I wanted to tell you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, lately I've been thinking more about us.
I don't know if this, okay. One, I don't know if this actually has as much of a dramatic impact while you've got all this, the crowd noise in the background. And just the crowd noise. Like, let's, I'm gonna rewind this and put a little bit of, other Tex Murphy music in the background, just to see what the scene looks like. Let me know in the comments if it looks like it would have worked a little bit better with some music as well as the crowd noise.
So what do you think?
Well, it's quite a place. Interesting decor.
I think it's great. But then, of course, I've always been attracted to blatant tackiness.
Should I take that personally?
Take it any way you like. Do you remember yesterday I told you I had something I wanted to tell you?
Yeah.
Well, lately I've been thinking more about us.
In the meantime, prepare myself.
How many drinks should I have before I hear this? 4? 5?
I have to admit, up until a couple of weeks ago, I thought you were just another smug and sensitive bag of male hormones. I couldn't even figure out why I was attracted to you, until I decided it was just another misguided response and me feeling like I was getting old.
Everything's relative.
30 is not old. You're still a kid.
But now that I've gotten to know you better, underneath it all, I realize that you're a really decent guy. And like I always said, I've always been attracted to you. In a rugged, lost boy sort of a way.
So sum it up in a nutshell. Also, like I think Tex is supposed to be in his like low 40s. He might be 40 in this. So I would imagine 30 is relatively young to him.
So basically, the older you get, the better I look.
Turning 30 has just made me consider what's important. Do you know what I mean?
I guess
Why
so.
is there a monkey in the background with his hands over his mouth?
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Speak
Fuchsia
no evil?
Flamingo proudly presents your entertainment for this evening. Now, please give a warm welcome for luscious Lucy Love.
If Emily is the only entertainer in the building, then is she always the entertainer? Like, for every evening? Like, if you... Oh my gosh, those eyes are just too much. Has this always been the song in the background for this scene? I almost feel like I need to actually look up other YouTube
Now that
videos
little item looks familiar. It's the brooch and scarf I found
just to
in Malloy's
confirm that the
room.
song has stayed the same.
Leech must have returned it to its rightful owner, I guess.
Because
Nice
I
to
don't
meet you,
remember this being the song here.
Simple thoughts and dirty love takes the pounding from above.
You were married before, right? You never talk about it.
Oh, it's more like the Inquisition than a marriage. People tell me to go to hell. I tell them I've already been there.
Well, would you ever try it again? I mean, you know, with someone new.
Boy, Louie was right. This girl is a knockout. Maybe a little heavy on the makeup, but still. Whoa.
Tex,
Man, I
pay
gotta find a way
attention.
to ask her some questions about her boyfriend, Malloy.
Tex.
Unfortunately, Leech hasn't taken his eyes off me since I came in. Maybe Chelsea could distract Leech for a minute, and then I could... No. She probably wouldn't understand why I wanted to meet Emily in her room.
Paging Mr. Murphy, do I need to repeat the question?
Huh? No. You were talking about marriage? Would I do it again?
Well,
Tex,
well,
pay attention to Chelsea.
Simple thoughts and dirty love
Yeah, I might if I thought it was the right thing to do.
pounding from above.
Tex, oh my gosh.
Getting caught on stormy nights. Naughty drinks and pillow fights.
See,
Malloy must be some kind of dynamo if he can handle her.
like, the way that he's staring
have
is
to make my move
problematic.
pretty soon.
Not just
As soon as Leech gives me an opening.
to Chelsea,
I'll
but
slip
also
up
the
to her
fact
room.
that there's absolutely nothing he can learn about
you know, Tex,
the case.
it's not polite to stare, especially at other women.
No, it's not like that, Chelsea. This woman might be tough to replace
there
I'm
it
working on.
goes.
I hope I get a chance to talk to her tonight.
So that's why you suggested that we come here tonight, right? You used me to get in here so that you could follow some damn lead?
Well, not for some damn lead. I wanted to take you out for your birthday. I just figured I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
2 birds?
Allow me to rephrase that.
No, you're not talking your way out of this one. I can't believe I ever thought you were anything but a self-centered creep.
give me a chance to explain.
No, you know what? I'm not interested in talking to you. You know,
Listen.
I don't think this is going to work. You know, we're friends right now, and I just think we better leave it like that. Thanks.
Hey,
Don't even think about leaving without paying for the drinks.
why didn't you stop her? She owed half the tab.
Why don't you be a gentleman and pick up the tab?
Does this mean I'm actually going to lose some of my money,
The
too?
bright side is, now I don't have to explain to Chelsea why I'm going to make a break for Emily's room. I go back to the table and wait for Leach to be distracted. When my opportunity appears, I head towards the facilities, then hang a quick right and hurry up the stairs.
At the very... Yeah, I'll have to check my inventory to see if I actually lost money during that cutscene, though I don't think I did.
Come near me and I'll scream. I mean it.
Hold on. I just need to talk to you for a minute.
What do you want?
My name's Tex Murphy. I'm looking for Thomas Malloy.
I know you.
Have we met?
No, you're a detective, right?
I am. Oh, is she going to give me money?
I have to get ready for my next set. Why don't you have a seat right over here?
I feel as though being
I've
in
heard you
such
can help
debt
people.
in this game has made me
I'll do my
focus
best.
so much on my lack
You think
of money.
you can help me?
That depends on the problem.
I think someone's gonna murder me.
Why would you think that?
It started a couple days after Thomas left. I got a weird call. Someone asking where Thomas had gone. I told them I didn't know, and they hung up. A couple days later, I found a note in my room. After I read it, I was so scared. I told Gus. He told me not to worry about it. That it was just some freak who gets off on scaring women. But I know it's not like that. It's serious.
Oh, this sounds like something the police ought to handle.
Gus says he'll protect me. He doesn't want the police or anyone else taking care of me. I know he means well. But sometimes... But he's always been so good to me. I don't know what to do.
I'll need to take a look at the note, if you still got it.
I do. But I tore it up after I read it. I was gonna throw it away, but I decided to save it and give it to the police.
Good girl.
And since this is an adventure
Receive any
game, you
calls
know
or
there's
messages
going to be a
like this?
puzzle to reassemble that
No.
note.
But I feel like someone's watching me.
I'll check that out. By the way, did you tell me your real name?
Emily. Emily Sue Patterson.
Listen, Emily, I'll do what I can. But you gotta promise me that you'll tell me everything about Dr. Malloy.
Well, that's probably fair. I think I can trust you. Why are you looking for him?
Actually, I was hired by a friend of his to find him.
Hey, Emily, you're on it. What the hell are you doing in here?
I get around.
He just came up for an autograph picture. I'll be right
Get the photo
down.
another time. Get the hell out.
We were done anyway. Good night, Lucy.
There's Tex, at the very least, taking a moment to
Don't bother going back to your table.
be discreet.
Just keep on walking right out of my club. If I see the flamingo again, I'll break your legs.
Well, my bar tab's on the table. Guess that means the drinks are on you. Night, Leach.
And the end of day 2. We did absolutely nothing with the rest of the day. Didn't even reassemble the note. The Black Arrow Killer. For a name for a serial killer, that
I
is
keep thinking
actually
about
pretty good.
Chelsea and the way we left things last night. Should I call her and apologize again? Let her cool off for a while. And maybe I've blown it with her for good. Small consolation is I got into the Flamingo, spoke to Emily, and have the note she gave me, which I'm hoping will give me a new lead to locating Malloy.
Alright. Let's save our game. And take a look at that note. Alright. The note says... No. Examine the note. Alright. Always the important thing is to look for those corners. Luckily, they've improved the system a little bit, so that... like, things lock together a lot cleaner in this one. Actually, hold on. And then that arrow goes here. But I'm not exactly at that point. And there we go.
Yeah. Emily Stalker was careful not to leave anything traceable on this note. The only distinctive thing about it is the black arrow symbol.
All right. So let us save our game. Again. I believe now we're actually expected to go to the police station. And talk to Mac Malden.
I've known Lieutenant Mac Malden for years, and occasionally we help each other out. Like a few months ago, when I gave Mac a tip on finding Rusty the Clown's body in the funhouse down the street from the Ritz.
Well, as I live and breathe, if isn't Tex Murphy, my little PI pal.
Hey,
Hello,
how's your...
Mac. I see your midlife crisis is coming along nicely.
Yeah, I know. Got a new look to go with my new attitude. This ponytail drives women wild. You wouldn't believe what someone will do to get out of paying a parking ticket.
Right. Ugh.
And what does Mrs. Malden think about all this?
My wife ran off with my best friend.
Commiserate?
Isn't that just like a woman? Pull your heart out through your nose and leave you for dead. Of course, with you, she could have used both hands.
Hell, it's the nicest thing she ever did for me. Now why don't you do something nice for me and clear out of my office?
Aggressively looking for help, laid on thick, or a rusty reminder of Rusty the Clown? Let's do a rusty reminder.
And I think you're forgetting who tipped you off about finding Rusty's remains at the funhouse and got you named Cop of the Month.
I didn't forget. Though I'd like to. So what do you want?
Emily's threatening notes.
Take a look at this note.
Damn. Did you get this?
I got it from a client. What can you tell me about it?
You ever hear about the Black Arrow Killer?
It's vaguely familiar, but refresh my memory.
Oh no, you're on your own in this one. You take care of yourself. That's dangerous territory.
Okay, but is there somebody I can ask about it?
Most of what I know came from the papers. I know there's a rumor around that the Black Arrow Killer has moved out here. I don't know any more than what I've told you.
Well, at the very least, now I have a name to look up. Stalker?
There are a lot of perverts running around these days. We can't keep tabs on all of them.
Let's see.
We found Rusty's remains in there thanks to your tip. Sure was good to close a case on a damn clown. I'm not sure who owns the place now, but I still got the key.
How about the key?
Sure. After the tip you gave me, I suppose the least I can do is loan you the key.
All right. I think that's everything I need. So I'm just going to ask him about himself.
I'm doing just fine. Now that Joanne's left me, it's like a whole new, beautiful world. You're not my type, if that's what you're asking.
Interesting how both him and Nilo have the exact same response. Where do I want to go? I want to go to the street. So that I could go across the street and take a look at Rusty's funhouse. But I believe this also has a puzzle, which is kind of interesting how, like, this section has kind of upped the puzzle ante, more or less. Like, everything beforehand was just kind of searching and picking up stuff. It's just kind of slowly easing you in. Let us use the key to Rusty's.
Well, Mac gave me the key to open the cop lock, but he didn't tell me how to deactivate it. Oh well. I'll just have to figure it out. The 4 nodes on the left have to link up with the 4 nodes on the right. The connections can't intersect or the cop lock resets.
Alright. I forget exactly how this works. So let us exit. Let's save.
Rusty's front door is sealed up.
If I remember correctly, these two do connect to each other. But I could be horribly wrong. Probably am horribly wrong. Yep. And then this is a little bit of trial and error, unfortunately. Yeah, this looks like it occupies just so much of the board, like there's no way it's not going to. Yeah, I guess I do remember the solution. After all these years. It's all coming back to me now. Oh my, oh geez. There we go.
Empty cardboard boxes.
With nothing underneath. I don't remember if there is actually anything to do in this room. Oh, hello, never mind.
I wonder what this pedal-looking thing does.
Yeah, it opens up this,
This sink must have been used for developing photos. Not much use for it now that there's no developing equipment.
I wonder if that's the same line as from Under a Killing Moon. Either way, there's probably nothing else because of the...
Looks like some local hooligans have been in here.
Clowns for laughs. Alright, what have we here?
Oh, now here's a classic. Fake vomit. This comes in handy when you don't want people taking the seat beside you. I once broke up with a girlfriend over a whoopee cushion. Literally. I wonder why Rusty would keep this copy machine hidden. Unless he was using it to... I don't even want to think about that.
I honestly don't know what he's thinking about, and that's probably for the best.
Rubber chickens. They make me think of Grandma's rubber chicken pot pies.
Is that like the stone soup? You keep a rubber chicken in the pie as it's cooking?
It's an old newspaper with Mac Malden named Policeman of the Week. Must have been a real slow week at the precinct. Man, this fake dog you do looks real enough to step in. Man, this fake stuff looks so real. It'll make a great gag. Can you imagine the look on somebody's face when I... Hey, wait a second. Oh, sick! Those police dogs were in here. Sorry, Mac, but first things first.
Leave it to Tex Murphy to pick up dog crap. And for the dog crap to still be in relatively fresh condition, like a week or so after
Right about
the body,
the time Grandpa started wearing
after
Huggies.
the cops had
I
come
used
and
to switch
gone.
one of these for his real dentures. A lot of good memories here.
Anything in these boxes?
There's a door built into these bricks.
Yeah, this leads out to the warehouse. But there's also this ladder.
This ladder leads to the roof of the funhouse.
Can you take a look at... Oh my gosh, why am I moving so slowly?
This rusted water tower looks like it hasn't been used since Rook was born.
Also, let's go talk to I think his name is Crazy Larry. It's been a while, we've been avoiding him for a little while. We already have what we need.
And he proclaimed in a mighty voice, "Woe be unto ye, eaters of flesh! Cursed are those who partake of the sausage patties and links and sizzling bacon. Cry for forgiveness, ye ingesters of honey-baked ham and all other manner of breakfast meats."
Alas, what does he have against breakfast meats in particular? And then I don't think there's anything in here.
And they cried out to him, saying, "But these are turkey-based products. They will not harm us." And he said unto them, "Yea, though turkey is the least of these, nonetheless a plague be upon thee and thy intestines."
You know, I never really considered how many different sets of speeches this guy has about meat and meat-based products. Which...
"For in those last days thou shalt be visited by indigestion and heartburn and agonizing incontinence."
But, like, I suppose you'd have to do a couple things. First, you'd actually have to spend your time writing sermons about anti-meat.
In thy folly thou shalt turn to antacids and bismuth and every variety of laxative. Ye shall cry out, "We should have had to sell it." But thy belly is stained with A1, and there is cholesterol in thy arteries.
And then you also have to get the voice actor, or I guess not just the voice actor. Now you get to get the actor to act out all the lines. So there's all that. Although the Pandora Directive definitely has a larger budget than its predecessors, and they definitely use it very well. Are we done with our sermons today, Reverend? I think he's good.
You! No, not you, the one in the hat. Have you not come to be healed?
Well, now that you mention it, it's kind of hurt when I go like this.
Then quit doing it.
Well, I'll be darned. You're right. That actually feels much better.
Heal thyself, stranger. The path of regularity and low blood pressure is straight and narrow. Partake not of the flesh, especially red meat, and choose instead the bulk and fiber of cereals, fruits, vegetables, and especially grains.
So basically a high gluten diet, which is interesting looking back at this diet he's proposing from today's perspective. But now that I think about it, he does seem like he's looking at his book for the material. So I have to wonder exactly where did he get this book about anti-meat and pro-wheat positivity.
Oh, I get plenty of grains, of the fermented variety.
Ah, then you too are an imbiber of the blessed potations. Which do you prefer, rum or vodka?
Official beverage of private investigation.
Bourbon, actually.
I, myself, prefer a nice single malt scotch.
Let's see if we can
I'll tell you
team
what.
up.
If I bring you a bottle of single malt scotch, will you answer some questions?
For a bottle of single malt, I will not only answer your questions, I will bless your family for 3 generations. For now, I must return to my preaching.
Sounds like a bottle of good scotch might loosen up Crazy Gary's tongue. I heard that Sal Lucido, the former owner of the Slice of Heaven pizza parlor, kept a first-rate stash of illegally imported booze somewhere on the street.
Well, luckily, I have already found it. So I can just turn right around and be like, hey there, Crazy Gary, not Crazy Larry.
I happen to be in the middle of a very important sermon.
To nobody.
Well, I brought you an offering.
How may I assist you, O venerable giver of the precious potation?
All right, let us ask about Thomas Malloy.
That appellation is foreign to me.
Crazy Gary.
I have been summoned by a greater power to preach against the forces of red meat and its kin. It is my calling in life, and I fear no man.
Wait, who's the kin of red meat?
A name with my ignorance. That. Now there is a man of insight. He eats no meat. Of course, he eats nothing but chocolate.
Yeah, that's... Even Crazy Gary realizes that's a bad diet.
A name. The fetid aromas billowing from their kitchen are insufferable. For that reason alone, I must forsake their supply of precious single malt scotch. The
warehouse?
I have seen the warehouse, but have never entered therein. That a name. I saw this man but once, strolling along the thoroughfare. He appeared to drop an article of some sort.
Okay.
When he bent to retrieve it, I espied an object fall from his pocket. It turned out to be a key.
Well, sir, I've got a question for you. You'll never expect this question.
You may indeed have the key, and I wish you luck in locating the poor man.
All right. Now let us finish this off. Chelsea?
Ah, the lovely creature who administers at the local newsstand. A sweet flower. Your taste in Scotch is unquestionable. For that fact alone, I can bear the stench of digesting meat emanating from your every pore.
All right. Let us go open up the door to that warehouse. See what we can find. That is use on that. Alright. What do we have in here?
Sheesh. The way my luck's been going, this will probably be my next apartment.
Got a... Ooh.
What's this? It's a crate, with Thomas Malloy's name stenciled right on the side. I'll need to move it out of that tight corner before I can open it.
There's probably the crane in this area that I could probably use to move it.
Arr, well, shiver me timbers. It's a pirate's chest.
Yar, matey. What sort of booty lie in this pirate's chest?
Arr, a peg leg.
I hope all the prosthetic devices didn't belong to the same pirate.
I have absolutely no memory as to what the peg leg is used for. But I'm sure I will figure it out in no time. Maybe. Hopefully. Anything in this section? Looks like no. Nope.
That box looks like it's empty. Sheesh.
Alright. And then that can't be interacted with.
This button must turn on the pulley system. This panel must... This panel must operate the crane. Won't move any farther in that direction.
Where is the, Oh, it's all the way over there. So I'll need to lower the...
This button probably lowers.
And then lift... Oh, no. This is where I need the peg leg. Okay. There we go.
This pen... That ought to do the trick.
Oh. Alright.
Looks like something fell out of Malloy's crate.
A map of Southeast Asia. Okay.
Plains of Nazca. I don't see any airplanes.
Clearly a scam.
It's a rug or a wall hanging. Well, this is certainly an interesting design. I wonder what type of symbols these are.
I believe Mayan?
What's this?
And that's it. Now then. What do I do? Do I go back to the office and... Alright. Zach, you know anything about the Black Arrow
I'm here
Killer?
to answer questions about the merchandise, and that's all. If you see something you're interested in, ask me about it, and I'll give you a price. Then if you want to buy it, you give me the cash, and you take it with you. Got it? Good. The Robco battery pack is specially designed to be used with certain Robco products, such as the Alien Abductor, which I happen to be out of at the moment. It's $20 for the battery pack.
Alright, so no talking to him about that. Do we combine stuff? No. Okay, let us travel to Rook's pawn shop.
I heard it through the grapevine that you and Chelsea had a little spat at the Flamingo. How embarrassing.
Well, for your information, it was a lover spat. Of course, you probably wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Well, I know more about it than you'll ever know. You're completely clueless about women. And speaking of clueless, how is that case coming along?
Well, you see...
I read about the Black Arrow Killer in the newspaper, but why are you asking me about him? He was arrested in Nevada some time ago.
So if he's arrested, then how is he going about doing things?
Mike, you just missed Chelsea. She stopped in to say goodbye. She's apparently off to Arizona. Is everything okay with you two?
Let's look to Louis for
I
illumination.
have absolutely no idea. What did Chelsea tell you?
Well, she and I talked for a bit. She's having a rough go of it.
Shouldn't be offended. I'm not going to trivialize Chelsea's plight.
Well, maybe I'm just not in touch with my feminine side, but what exactly is so rough?
Well, it's part you, part turning 30. I told her everyone goes through a phase like this. I haven't yet. Of course, I'm still young. I'm 58 and I still ain't ready to settle down. Tell me, Mike, you ever been truly in love with someone?
Mention the dark past, or...
Sure. Used to be married.
Yeah, the only thing easier than falling in love is getting married.
Don't remind me. That's the last time I'll ever drink 150 proof vodka.
You know what it is, Mike? Chemicals. Up in your brain. We got these chemicals going bananas.
Get surprisingly
when
technical.
the old dorsal amygdala gets fired up, look out for trouble.
My point is, falling in love don't mean a lot. What's hard is knowing someone real well and still liking them. But that ain't even the hardest thing. The hardest thing is finding someone you can trust. Remember that. Now, I'll get off my soapbox. What can I do for you?
All right. Let us ask about the Black Arrow Killer.
I remember reading about the Black Arrow Killer. Someone was covering the story in the Bay City Mirror.
And the Bay City Mirror.
You want to find copies of the Black Arrow Killer articles? I throw out all my old papers, but Rook sometimes holds on to his. Keeps him in the alley.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Now I've got to go behind the pawn shop, dig through his garbage. Find these garbage bins I can actually interact with. Or maybe I'm jumping the gun and I actually have to... Nope, it's right there.
Seems like I have to go through Rook's garbage at some point in every case I take. What a dirty, rotten job. Oh, here's an old issue of the Bay City Mirror.
Also, if Rook is storing his behind his shop, the garbage is not a storage site. What kind of stories do we have? Be an artist or just look like one. World-renowned fashion expert Francois will appear for one night only at the Bayview Community College Amphitheater. Francois, founder of the Nova Avant-Garde fashion movement, will lecture on a variety of topics, including art, apparel, accessories, and dressing for suicide, and a basic black turtleneck, the new blue blazer. Tickets are $163.27 are available at the door. The lecture begins promptly at 8:19 and cigarettes will be served after. Oof. Movies and shakers. Bruce Willis, still fit and spry at age 91, is set to star in Die Hard 18, still alive and kicking. Willis says that this will be the last and most exciting movie in the popular cinematic series. The plot centers around a terrorist takeover of a Fort Lauderdale retirement community. Co-stars include Paul Rubens as the terrorist leader and Macaulay Culkin as a bitter ex-child star. Also in the news, United Features announced today that Waterworld, the 1995 sci-fi classic, finally broke even. Fishing Prose Winter. The following entry, submitted by Natty Lorson, was chosen as the winner of our annual Why I Love to Fish writing contest. That's a slight difference. Natty wins a 4-day, 3-night, all-expenses-paid trip to Stain Lake, Oregon, and a new set of waders. Throughout history, fly fishing has remained the pinnacle of the angler's art. Other weapons of attack on dwellers of lake and stream may come and go. But when a man has tried every one, if he is a philosopher at all, he will come back to fly fishing, for the fly rod offers other inducements than merely winning the physical fight. The satisfaction lies rather in one's closeness to nature, in his becoming one with his environment, in the lifelong pursuit of big-ass lunker trout. Let's see. Rochester, New York native Pablito Esmith woke up last week to find that Barkley, his 3-month-old Labrador retriever, had chewed his leg completely off. According to Mr. Smith, he'd been up late the night before drinking mucho tequila and passed out on his living room sofa. He didn't realize the leg was gone until he tried to stand up the next morning. Immediately after falling to the floor, Mr. Smith noticed Barkley playing with the leg. The impromptu amputation wasn't all bad, though. I've been trying for many years to lose weight, said Mr. Smith. Now weighing in at a svelte 195 pounds, he is scheduled to leave the hospital today. Does this sound like your kind of job? Work in the same building with lots of interesting people. Earn up to 15 minutes in breaks every 4 hours. Enjoy a full hour for lunch, unpaid. A clean sanitary bathroom available at any time. 3 fully functional drinking fountains dispensing icy cold water. Punch in on a state-of-the-art time clock. Sit in a comfortable chair with armrests. Make money simply by talking on the phone all day. If this sounds like the kind of exciting career you've dreamed about, contact Sapphire Bob's Phone Farm Services. challenging and rewarding opportunity in the field of telemarketing could be your stepping stone to the future. All right, enough of all this. Let's just go on. The Black Arrow... She looks like she's going to pass out. The Black Arrow Killer Strikes Again by Lucia Purnell. In what appears to be a carbon copy of the serial murders committed in Arizona and Nevada over the past 2 years, a young woman has been murdered in New San Francisco. Police are not releasing any information at the time, including the name of the victim. This reporter has learned, however, that evidence was found at the crime scene which indicates that the Black Arrow Killer has struck again. Reports from several months ago hinted that the police had finally caught the serial murderer in Nevada. This was never confirmed or denied, though this recent tragedy seems to prove that the killer is still on the loose. All right. I think I'm going to stop here for the night. Picked it up from hopefully calling the Bay City Mirror tomorrow. In the meantime, though, got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.
So what do you think?
Well, it's quite a place. Interesting decor.
I think it's great. But then, of course, I've always been attracted to blatant tackiness.
Should I take that personal?
Take it any way you like. Do you remember yesterday I told you I had something I wanted to tell you?
Yeah.
Well, lately I've been thinking more about